Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It has been raining absolutely nonstop. Well, I shouldn't say nonstop. It has been raining for like the past 5 days, but it's been so unpredictable. I know you can't tell because it's blue sky right now, but if you look over there, there's where all the storm clouds were. It was pouring rain this morning, as you can see, with everything wet. And our weather app or weather report is having trouble figuring it out. So therefore I'm having trouble scheduling my day. So I am not camera ready, but I figured I would grab my phone and come out here and film a front garden tour for February while I have the chance. I know it says it might possibly rain later today. It's this is spring weather, right? This is spring weather. So anyway, it is that time of the month when I like to show you all around my front garden and my back garden. I have been doing this every single month since I started my YouTube channel, and I am not stopping now. This is always the time of year when I'm kind of like, maybe I should skip a month just because things aren't, I don't know, it's like slow, the pause before the explosion of blooms. But if you look closely, there are some really beautiful things happening. Can you guys see those storm clouds? So they were just here and it was just pouring down rain, and it said it was going to rain till like 11 o'clock and then it stopped. And anyway, so that's my day. But I wanted to show you guys. So it's mid-February and I planted about 400 red tulips and they are all starting to come up. I am starting to see some signs of spring. And I've got the first one. Isn't that so fun? Oh my goodness, I just love it. I don't know what it is about the first tulips and the first daffodils, but once you start seeing signs, it's kind of like go time, right? It's like these guys are going to start blooming, and then all of a sudden everything, the garden is just going to kind of come to life. It looks kind of quiet right now, but very, very quickly. Oh my gosh, I just noticed. Let me bring you guys to the other side of the gazebo. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, this is so very pretty. So these are just basic red tulips. It was, I usually get my tulips at Costco, and I was very, very late this year getting tulips, and all they had left were red ones. But I have to say, I'm very excited about it because I think it's going to be really, really pretty. It's just a gorgeous sea of red once they all pop open, and they are just, they're just looking really good. So probably next month we will see all the tulips just looking absolutely fabulous. Is that a weed? Oh my Well, there's my garden tour. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest weed ever. How did I miss that? Okay, well, there I have weeds in my garden as well. That's okay, right? It happens. It is totally fine, and it happens. It's just that time of year. So usually every year I like to plant daffodils or something cool season annuals in my zigzag planter, and at my last house it was in my front swoop. And this is the first year that I haven't done it because we had all this construction going on in the back garden and I was so focused on that I honestly had no time to plant anything back here, and I'm really sad. I'm really sad that I didn't plant anything because it looks so bare, and it's going to be bare for another 2 months. And I keep talking to Jason and saying, gosh, should I just go get, some pansies or something just to give it a little bit of color? And I've just decided that I'm just going to hold off. I'm just going to focus on other things right now. But this is a definite lesson for me that, yeah, it takes a lot of effort and it does take some time to plant daffodils or other cool season annuals, but I just enjoy it so much. It brings me so much joy, and I feel like I'm missing out on that joy this year by not having them. So I do have a handful of daffodils in here that were left over from previous years that I must have just missed the bulbs, because normally I take them out and I transplant the daffodils into other parts of my garden. And last year, I think it was, or maybe it was the year before, I transplanted a ton of daffodils into, I think it was the year before, into the front of my property on the other side of the fence along the street. And we put like, 10 inches of mulch over them this past fall just to keep the weeds down. You'll see when I take you out there. and they're popping up through the mulch. I cannot believe how strong they are. I'll show you guys when I get to there. But I was pleasantly surprised. I know a lot of you have been wondering about those transplanted daffodils, but they're coming, which is really, really exciting. When it comes to this garden bed, I am so happy with this garden bed this year. I still have a couple more tweaks that I want to do to it. Like, I think I need a little bit more like piney, like conifer structure, right? So I have this guy right here and I am blanking on the name. I took the tag off of this one. I'll put it on the screen right now. And I left the tag on because it's just one of those plants that I cannot remember the name of this tree right here. And I took the tag off because I thought the tag looked kind of ugly, but now I'm kicking myself. So I'm going to have to label this plant down here. You know how there's just some plants you cannot remember the name of? That is definitely one of them. It's from Isley. Isley is such a fantastic nursery. They're the ones with the triangle tags. And if you ever have a chance to get your hands on an Isley plant, get it, because they do such a good job. So anyway, this one is looking really good, and it's giving me that kind of winter interest piney look. And you can see I have a ton of winter interest in here. I have so much winter interest. I have my Super Green of Pink Cashmere that stayed green all season. I have my Sweet Alyssum that is total winter interest. So I have my Buddleia that I need to cut back that's perfect winter interest. And my lemon tree, which I know I have a lemon on there. I've been letting it ripen and it's looking really good. It's ready to be picked. Look how good this looks. Oh, that's ready. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. My first lemon on this tree. I'm so excited about it. And I'm starting to get some new growth, which is really fun. Anyway, so I do have a lot of winter interest, you can see, but I think I need a little bit more structure in this garden, I think is what I'm trying to say. I just need some boxwoods or like tater tot thuyas or something like that. I need a little bit more structure. And I tried to put some structure for this American pillar thuya right here. And let me know if you have this plant. Is it normal for it to brown out this intensely? I kept looking at it thinking that it was dead, right? That it was dying or something like it. But it feels flexible. It feels alive. It's just so bronzed. I've never grown American Pillar Arborvitae. It's a proven winner's plant. I've never grown this one before. So if you guys have grown it, let me know. Because I'm just so interested. Like, I cannot believe how much it's browned out versus my other thuyas. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's another thuya over there, and that's like bright green. And this one has definitely bronzed. And I don't know if it's like on its way out or or if that's just the normal color. I don't know. Anyway, so I have my iceberg roses right here that are looking great. I'm starting to get some new growth on them. Now, this is just about an inch of new growth. Once it hits about 3 inches, that's when I will fertilize it. So I don't want to fertilize these guys right now. Same with these over here. These guys are my Climbing Eden roses from Heirloom Roses. They're not quite ready to be fertilized, but they're very, very close. Like, I'm talking about like 2 weeks maybe. I'm going to start fertilizing these guys. So like I said, we're almost there. We're almost like go time. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like it's always go time. But anyway, things are starting to wake up. This garden bed, I'm so happy with this garden bed. I absolutely love this garden bed. It has the Platinum Beauty Lamandra underneath there. And then I do have the Mahogany Ajuga that's looking amazing. I do have to clean it up a little bit. It's got a little bit of old stuff, but I do need to clean that up. And then the Star Jasmine Espalier and the Thuya over there. Oh, it's just looking so good. And then to add icing on the cake, my Clematis Armandii is blooming. And it just, oh, you guys, I love this plant so much. I love it, love it, love it. The only thing I'm sad about is it's obviously reacting to the afternoon sun. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I just love this plant. So it's blooming intensely facing west, facing southwest is the way. And I really wanted it to bloom facing east, but obviously that's okay. Look at how gorgeous this is. And this is my daughter's bedroom windows. And so I'm just hoping that it'll kind of grow over that way around their windows and they can open their windows and smell the beautiful blooms. And then over here, this is where all my Star Jasmine is going to grow eventually. And so this this whole area. It's going to be, so this is February, from February into early March, we're going to have the scent of the Clematis armandii. Oh, isn't that just so beautiful? And then in April and May, we'll have the star jasmine scent. And oh, I mean, talk about sensory, right? A sensory garden. It's just going to be amazing. I love it. So one part of my front garden that I feel like I breeze past so much, but I need to give it some credit where credit's due. I broke this pot when I was transplanting the tree in it over to my secret garden, and I decided to plant up this pot with some succulents. It's not hooked up to drip. It's just getting the rain. Probably during the summer, I'll supplemental water it like once a week or every other week or every 10 days or something like that. But isn't that looking absolutely beautiful? Sorry about the glare of the sun. Isn't that looking so beautiful? And that was a broken pot that I could have easily just thrown away, just gotten annoyed with and thrown away. But like, I'm showing you all this so that you can see, if you have a broken pot, put it in your garden and put some succulents in it. I've seen it done, you know, in magazines and on videos and stuff like that. And I've never done, this is the first time I've actually done it, and I love it. I think it is so pretty. And it's for me, so I live in zone 9B. So obviously it's a lot easier for me to leave it out, all these succulents out over the year. So if you live in a warm climate, absolutely do it. If not, maybe find something else other than succulents that'll overwinter for you. But isn't this gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. So you will see over here, Jason has been working on the drip irrigation. I showed you guys in a video, and we have all these pipes out here that he's still working on. These are dead pipes right now, and we need to reconnect them. So if you guys see that, it's just because we're working on that. And it's, you know, it's the perfect time of year to be working on drip irrigation and figuring all of that stuff out, and making sure it works and making sure your plants are all ready for the season when you're really going to rely on drip, really going to rely on it. I have my Surefire Rose Begonia that I cut back, and it's already starting to bloom again. This plant is absolutely amazing. I love, love, love this plant, especially right next to the Helen von Stein lamb's ear. I have not cut back this Helen von Stein lamb's ear yet. You don't have to cut it back every single year, but what I will do, and I'm not going to do it right now because it's gross, this mushy stuff, it gets really mushy right in there. I'll just come in with my glove and I'll grab all that mushy stuff and I'll toss it, right? And that'll just kind of clean up the plant, make sure there's no bad bugs harboring over in it. You can see I'm already getting some earwig activity around here, and the earwigs are living in this mushy stuff right here. So I definitely have to come and I have to clean it up, and I have to clean up all these oranges that are dropping, and we got to do a big orange harvest because we're so lucky with these oranges. I say this every year. We have too many. We have so many oranges, and we just end up giving bags and bags and bags to everybody. And then, you know, a lot of them just end up on the tree and they end up start falling. So at this time of year, we really gotta get out here and we gotta start harvesting them and finishing up our orange harvest for the season. Back here, I haven't addressed this yet because it's been so rainy. But look at this plant. Look at this plant. Oh my gosh. It's called purple lilac vine, or what's the scientific name? Hardenbergia, I think is what it is. Whatever. It's an amazing plant. It is such a good plant, and the color this time of year is just so stunning. Look at, isn't this just absolutely stunning? I love it. And next to the oranges, I just think it is so beautiful. It is taking over my podocarpus, so I need to train it along the fence over here, but I am just absolutely in love with this plant. And if you all haven't seen my monthly blooming garden videos that I've actually stopped doing because I felt like my monthly blooming garden videos were getting stressful for me, because basically what that series was every month I was planting something that would bloom that month. So for February, it was purple lilac vine, and you can see it's February and it's blooming. So it's perfect. It's such a great thing to do, but I had done it for 2 years and I was starting to get stressed, especially around this time of year, because it's kind of hard. It takes a lot of time and research and sourcing researching the plants to find plants that are blooming this time of year. So I definitely recommend you guys going through that exercise yourself in your own garden. Even if it's snowing, trying to find a plant that gives you some interest in the snow, right? Some winter interest plants, conifers, or something like that. Basically something that whatever month it is during the year, you can come out to your garden and you can enjoy it, like I'm enjoying this purple lilac vine. So this was my February blooming garden plant. I love it so much. I just think it is so beautiful. It is getting a little out of control, so I got to fix it, but I will get that done. Another plant that needs a little bit of attention over here is my lemon coral sedum. Here in zone 9, lemon coral sedum is an evergreen, obviously, and it has some beautiful, beautiful winter interest, but you can see it does spread. Right? And it won't spread too far for me because it has to be near drip. It has to have some drip or else it'll just peter out during the summertime. But at this time of year, when we're getting a lot of rain, it starts to spread and it spreads pretty quickly. So what I do is I just come in and I just shear it and like that to keep it in check. If you wanted to make it circular, you can make it shear its back circular, and then you can, I'm not supposed to say this, but you can take it and replant it and basically divide it, and it will be absolutely fine. I'm not supposed to say it because this is is it a patented plant or a copyrighted plant? I don't remember what, but basically there's rules. You can't propagate this plant and sell it, but I'm sure it's fine in your own garden. Anyway, Verbena de la Mina, beautiful. Jason loves this plant. I've told you guys that. I cannot smell it at all, but I really do enjoy the blooms. And then the other day I came and I cleaned up this whole area and it looks so much better. Oh my gosh, it looks so much better. Cleanup is hard. Cleanup is a hard job in your garden, and it's usually why I like to do it in the fall. But this year I decided to do all my cleanup in the spring, and I think I'm going to stick with that from now on because I really enjoyed how lush my garden was all throughout the winter time. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, look at my center island. I mean, doesn't that look amazing? The drawback for that though is like I have quite a long to-do list right now of kind of cleaning everything up. Now I do have just about an acre garden, so if you have a smaller garden, it's not going to be as big of a deal. But cleanup is definitely something that you need to address. It makes a huge difference. My mindset for this year is to not get stressed if I don't get to everything. Like if I don't get to shearing all of this back, it's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. I will get to it eventually and the plants will be fine. I did want to point out my princess flower, my Tibushina back here. It's looking really good. It's not blooming right now. I would call this plant like a semi-evergreen. It does, but I know it keeps its leaves more in warmer climates, more mild climates. You can see it's lost some of its leaves down here, but this is just such a beautiful plant. It is absolutely gorgeous plant. This was another one of my blooming garden plants, and I can't remember what month it was, but I want to say like August or something like that. But this is a really, really gorgeous plant called Princess Flower, and it can get pretty tall if you let it. It can get like 10 feet tall. It is almond blossom bloom time, which is a magical time of year here in the California Central Valley. We have so many almond orchards all around, and the whole thing is covered with pink blooms, and it is so beautiful. And there's traffic because everyone's slowing down and, in awe of the beautiful almond blossoms, and people take family photos around it. It's just so beautiful. So, you can see around my property, if you see the blooming trees all around here, these are all almond trees over there and over there. These are all almonds, and almonds do really well for us here in the Central Valley of California. And they're just absolutely gorgeous in February. Beautiful. I did transplant black mondo grass over here. I had this black mondo grass over in the garden bed where my lamandra is now. I ended up taking out this black mondo grass and replacing it with the mahogany ajuga, and I think this is a much better place for the black mondo grass. I do want to take a page out of Roberta Walker's playbook, and I do want to put some chartreuse green. Like, I think I'm going to put some creeping Jenny in between here so it can kind of climb in between the black mondo grass, so I can have that chartreuse green with the dark foliage. I think that will be really pretty. She's really, really good at those plant combinations. So I definitely want to do that. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at my weeds. Oh boy. We're going to pretend like we don't see that, okay? We're just going to pretend like that's not there. Anyway, so without that, you can see the mound here. One of my tasks for this week is to get to the garden center and get a lime tree. I know I've been talking about this forever, but I'm really excited. We had a lime tree here before, and unfortunately it died. Limes, they do well for us, but if we get freezes or frosts, limes can't handle that. And so what the arborist said is that my lime tree just went through too many frosts and then heat and frost and heat, and it was just too much for it, and so it just died. So I'm going to plant another one. I'm going to go get another one, and I ended up, actually, this is another page out of the Roberta Walker landscape design book. She said in her garden tour, I did a garden tour of her own personal garden, and she ended up having to take out a tree that died in her garden, and instead of digging out the roots, she just made a berm on top of the old trunk and roots and planted in that berm. And I thought that was such a great idea. So when she said that, I knew my lime tree had died. So I decided just to put some topsoil over it. And this is just topsoil that I had extra in my garden. And now I have a little bit of height in my very, very flat garden. And I'm going to put a lime tree back there, because this is what I call my orchard garden, because I have the lemon tree, the pomegranate, the orange trees, this fig tree right here, and I used to have a lime tree, and I need a lime tree. I just need a lime tree back here. So I will put the lime tree back in there, and that is my to-do list for this week. I've just, you don't want to go to the garden center when it's raining. I feel bad for the people who work at the garden center. They stay open when it's raining, but I just don't want to do it. Now, when it comes to my willow tree garden bed, it's looking a little bare. I do need to put a little bit more winter interest, I think, in here. I have cut back my Niagara Falls panicum. My Chinese pistache is looking really good, but it hasn't flushed out yet, and it probably won't for a while. I did want to come back here, and I wanted to show you guys my Matilaha poppy. Let's see. I have one here and one here, and I just wanted to show how much it's spreading, right? So it spreads by underground rhizomes, and you can see how much it's even spreading to the other side of the fence. So while I love this plant was in the running for being California's state flower. Now we all know it's I don't know if you guys know. California's state flower is the golden poppy, but this one, the Matilaha, the fried egg poppy, was in the running because it is a native plant to us here, and you can see why. It's obviously very, very happy, and I definitely wanted it in my garden just because, it's just such a great plant, but I just want to point out how much it spreads. I still have to cut off this one piece. It's sticking straight up here. And then over here, we have the yardline viburnum. When I planted these, they were very, very tiny, so they've probably doubled in size. They are going to get about 12 feet tall and 4 feet wide. So eventually they're going to be like a sound break, a windbreak, because this is the street right here, and like farm trucks and stuff like that drive past here pretty fast. So I definitely need some type of sound break, and I'm trying to be super patient, and I'm so tempted to plant something else, but I really want these yardline viburnum. A lot of you have asked how they're doing. They're doing great. They're just taking, not taking a while. I planted them like a year and a half ago. So it's just going to take some time, but you can see there's new growth. And then this massive plant right here. This is crazy. This is almost as tall as I am, right? So it's probably about 5.5 feet tall right now. It's huge. When I planted it, it was this big. It was this big, and it's taken a while to grow to be this big, and I'm really excited because I think it's going to bloom this year, right? I'm crossing my fingers it'll bloom this year, but this Pride of Madeira is so, so gorgeous. It's an echium. It's beautiful. I have the Star of Madeira over there in the center island. I'll show you guys that in a second, but I am just crossing my fingers that it blooms this year because this is just such a beautiful plant, and I've been so patient with it. So everybody cross your fingers. But can you believe how big it's gotten? Let me back up so you can see. Look at how big that plant has gotten. Isn't that absolutely crazy? And then coming over here, I do have a flowering quince that is about to burst into bloom, absolutely burst into bloom. I can't remember the name of this plant, you guys. I'm going to put it on the screen. But oh my God, like look at this plant. Look at how many buds are on here. These are going to be absolutely beautiful, and you can cut these and use them in flower arrangements, and they are just gorgeous. I need to have more of these in my garden, but this is just so beautiful, and it's going to give some beautiful early spring interest. You can see it's already starting to open right there. It's just, I just think it's really going to shine once it settles in. One of the things that I need to work on, that I need to be a better gardener about, is being patient with plants. And that's why I'm giving this yardline viburnum the time that it needs, because I am such, like, you know, Erin from The Impatient Gardener. I love her because what a perfect name for a YouTube channel, The Impatient Gardener. I am such an impatient gardener, and it's just like, it's one of those things that I really want to work on, is being more patient, because nature is the one who's going to take control and tell you when it's ready to bloom and to grow and to really make a show in your garden. And so this plant, I actually planted this plant, I think the first fall that I lived here, right? So this plant has been in for 3 years, 2.5 years or something like that. And this is the first year that it's really starting to show signs of being something, of life, you know what I mean? So I just have to be more patient. Both Erin and I have to be more patient. I think Erin has learned to be patient, but I need to work on it for sure. Another thing that's looking beautiful is my willow tree. Oh, Robbie the willow is just looking so good. It is starting to flush out. I just love this tree so much. Oh, it's just so beautiful. And it grew so fast. I can see why you don't want to plant this tree near sewage lines or near your house, because I cannot believe how fast this tree has grown. This tree is just absolutely shot up. Again, it's not even 3 years old, and it's just absolutely massive, and it's so beautiful, and I'm so very happy with it. And I have plans for it this year. I'm not going to redo the willow tree garden. I'm going to add to the willow tree garden. That's this whole garden area here. I'm going to add to it this year, but we're not going to put the pathway in this year just because we did the back garden. But I am going to, I have something from Haddonstone that I'm thinking of putting right here. So you guys should, get ready for that. I don't know when I'm going to get it, but Haddonstone is the company that I'm working with, that I'm getting my fountain from, and that's going to go in the back garden. And they also have very beautiful bird baths and sculptures and urns and all that kind of stuff. So I have something really exciting that's going to go right here. So I'll show you guys that eventually. And then coming over to my center island, it is looking a little bare. I did cut back the Supertunia Bordeaux. I left the Supertunia Bordeaux to see if it'll overwinter, and I see signs of life. So a way that you can tell if a plant is alive is if you scratch it, and if it's green, can you guys see that? It's green. So I don't know if it's going to bloom again. Supertunia Bordeaux, it's an annual, right? It's technically an annual, and it's only hardy to zone, I think 10, right? But it might have overwintered for me. Wouldn't that be amazing if it overwintered? So I'm just being very patient, and I'm waiting to see what happens once we start to warm up. But it looks like it's alive. This is Kindly Privet. Beautiful plant. I love this plant, and it's not like a regular privet that's going to spread all over your garden. It's not totally sterile, but it's mostly sterile. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's basically bred. That's why it's called Kindly, because it's not going to spread like a normal privet. But I have to say, I am such a fan of privet. I know not everybody likes privets because they are so invasive. I love the glossy green foliage. I just absolutely love it. I think it's so pretty. So I'm excited to see how this one does, and I'm going to shape it either into a cone or into a ball eventually. I'll have to decide. This mess right here, this is Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow. Same thing as the Bordeaux. I'm just waiting to see what happens if where was it? I was coming in here looking at it to see if there were signs of life, and there are. Let's see. So here's the stem. Here's one of the main stems. Can you see that green? Right? So you look at this and you think, okay, that's dead, right? That's an annual. It's dead. I need to take it out. But just maybe. I might be crazy, I know, but just maybe. You never know. You absolutely never know. Here you can see we got a little bit of dieback on the Augusta lavender heliotrope, but this plant can definitely handle the cold, so I'll just have to kind of cut that back. I've got to come in here and I got to cut that back. But it's a beautiful plant, and you can see it is still blooming in February, which is absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. I have a bunch of bulbs coming up, and I cannot remember what I planted there. I think they're snowdrops. Not totally sure. Not totally sure, but I did want to show you all this. This is my Chinese fringe flower. This is another one that I have to be patient with. Oop, I don't know what happened there. But I'm going to be patient with this one because this is a relatively new plant, or a new shrub, and I have to let it grow. But I'm so happy to see signs of the Chinese fringe flower, the loropetalum. This is such a beautiful plant. And unfortunately, here in this property, we have groundwater, I have well water, and so we have a lot of boron, which means my water is very, very alkaline, and loropetalum doesn't really like that, but this one seems to be doing okay. So I'm crossing my fingers. I will amend it with some acidic fertilizer and kind of see how it does. But so far, I'm very, very happy with it. And then coming over here, we're going to ignore this giant weed right here. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have so many weeds. It's just that time of year where weeds just go crazy, and then it rains and I'm not out here, and so I don't pay attention to it. That's a giant weed. But over here, these are California no-mow grasses, native no-mow grasses. And you can see they're starting to spread. I didn't mulch this area. I left it bare because I wanted it to spread, and it's doing its job. I do need to come over here and cut some of it back. But you can see over there how much it's spreading, and that's honestly what I want. I think it's going to be really pretty when this whole area is like a meadow. I did sprinkle, I'm just remembering now, I did sprinkle California poppy seeds, and I don't see any signs of them. Like, not at all. I'm trying to look a little bit closer. Not at all. These are all weeds. So, I don't know. This might just be too dense for them. My plan was to have California poppies popping up through this lawn, and I thought that I did it at the right time, but I probably should have done the poppies first and then put this over it. So if you guys are going to do the same thing, put your California poppies down first if you want that look. If you don't want that look, then, you know, that's fine. This, I just got a seed mixture, and I look how beautiful that looks. It's just so gorgeous, and it needs less water than regular lawn, so I don't have to have sprinklers or anything. During the hottest part of the year, I will have to come out here and I will have to supplemental water it. But one of the cool things about this is you can let it brown out. You can let it like die. Like say you go on a vacation, right? Don't worry about it. Let it brown out and then just start watering it. Start watering it again and it'll green up again. It's not like regular lawn that's going to die on you. Oh my goodness. I should be embarrassed. I am embarrassed. Oh my God, I can't even get that out. I'm going to have to get a shovel for that. The wind is all of a sudden picking up. This is probably why they said there's a chance for more rain today. Another thing that I need to get done is I need to cut back this lantana here. This was such a beautiful planting. And if you guys ended up getting the Proven Winners idea book, it is in the Proven Winners idea book. And those of you who live in California, they are making a California only Proven Winners idea book. And this garden was, I think it was on the front cover. I haven't seen it yet. They're shipping them to me now. So anyway, keep an eye out for the Proven Winners idea book. I am so excited and so honored. Oh, I'm just so happy about it. Anyway, I need to cut back my lantana so that it can grow back, and I need to cut back, this is the totem pole grass right here, and these are little blue stem grasses, so I need to cut all those back, and they should come back next year, and it should be even more beautiful. Okay, while I'm up here, I'm going to show off more of my weeds. It's just that time of year. The weeds grow so fast, and if it's raining and you're not on top of it, they're going to end up looking like that. We'll get to it. It'll be fine. But I did want to show you guys all the daffodil greenery that's coming out here. So it's coming. It is definitely coming, and this was a thick layer of mulch, and they're still coming through the mulch, which is really exciting and fun. And then back inside the gate into the long border, you can see my boxwoods. Knock on wood, cross your fingers, they're looking good. You guys, I transplanted these from the Roberta Walker project. They were taking all of these out and they ended up, I don't want to say anything yet, but I'm pretty happy with how they're looking. They've been in for about a month now, a little over a month, and so far they're looking okay. I would say this one is the one that's struggling the most. I did transplant these thuyas from the Pots by My Metal Workshop. Isn't that beautiful? With the apple blossoms. Isn't that just gorgeous? And I have a lot of plans. I'll show you the picture of my plans for this whole area. But I'm just really excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to start planting. It's coming up soon. I got to come here and I got to cut back all these dahlias. I left these dahlias just so that they can overwinter. Oh my gosh. I swear the weeds. This is crazy. It's good. It's all the rain that we've had. That's why the boxwoods are surviving along with the weeds. This right here, this mass right here is Supertunia Vista bubblegum. So there you go. You can kind of see the difference. You guys saw the Bordeaux over there and you saw the Supertunia Mini Vista yellow, and this is Supertunia Vista bubblegum. And that is why I think Supertunia Vista bubblegum just needs, I don't know. It needs to be its own category. It is just such a fabulous plant. It can handle cooler temperatures. It gets huge. It's just one of the best plants out there. They're just so beautiful. Another fantastic plant is my Monterey cypress right here. Isn't this just amazing? It is so beautiful. This one is staked to within an inch of its life because it's having a hard time. One of you left a comment. I was talking about this, I think, in my last, my January front garden tour, and I was saying that it kept falling over, it was growing too fast for its root system, and it kept falling over. That's why it's staked 3 times. And one of you said, maybe don't water it as much so that the roots are forced to kind of spread out more. And I think that that is a great idea. So I think I'm going to take the drip system off of this tree, see how it does, kind of watch it and make sure it's okay. But I think that that was very insightful, whoever said that. So thank you for that suggestion. I do have my apricot right here, and the apricot is starting to bloom. This is one of those mutant Frankenstein plants where all 4 trunks are different varieties of apricot. So you can see this trunk over here actually already bloomed and it finished blooming, and now it's this trunk's turn to start blooming. This trunk is just starting and this trunk is a little bit behind that. But it's just a very funny tree. So what they'll do is they'll graft different varieties of fruits. Like these are all apricots. They're different varieties of apricots, but you can get fruit trees that are like one branch is plum, one branch is apricot, one branch is peach, and one branch is nectarine or something like that. So they're total Frankenstein fruit trees. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's really interesting. So if you guys notice that it's looking a little lopsided with its blooms, that's why. My Wichita Blue Juniper is looking fabulous. I'm starting to see growth on it. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's a very slow grower, but once it starts growing, it goes crazy. I did have someone ask me, because this is only rated up to a zone 7, USDA zone 7, and to me, this tree is a perfect example of why the USDA zones aren't very good at discussing the high end of the zones. If you look up the Sunset Garden zones, this Wichita Blue Juniper is Sunset Garden zones 1 through 24, and I am Sunset Garden zone 14. And Sunset Garden zones take into account wind, frost, heat, drought, like rainfall, all that kind of stuff. So it's much, much more involved, and I wish they used it more, but they don't. I don't even think they're putting out the Sunset books anymore. I think they've discontinued those, but it's still a really, really good concept. And basically the Wichita Blue Juniper is right for my zone if you follow the Sunset Garden zones, but it's wrong for my zone if you follow the USDA zones. So just kind of something to think about. My summer break Alstroemeria is still blooming. Are you guys getting bored of me saying this? That it's still blooming. I came in here and I pulled the stems. I kind of freshened it up when Jason and I were out here working on the drip irrigation, so that it's all nice and new and I'll get some new growth out of it. And it's just, It's just such a beautiful plant. I know Proven Winners is having a hard time getting this plant out to stores, so you guys might not find this plant this year, but hopefully next year they'll have a better opportunity or be able to get it out to stores a little more. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Okay, then coming this way, I mean, you guys are probably bored of me saying this, Vermillionaire Kufia is still looking absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, still blooming. My Magnolia stellata, oh, it's coming, you guys. I'm so excited. The blooms on this tree are so pretty. And again, I have to be patient with this. This is still a baby. I just planted this last year, I want to say. Like, it is not even in its leap year, right? Or its creep year. No, I would say this is probably its creep year. So, the old adage is the first year a plant sleeps, the second year it creeps, and the third year it leaps, right? So a lot of these plants that I've planted in this garden since we've only lived here, we're just coming into our third year. We haven't even reached the leap stage for a lot of these plants. So they're looking great, and technically most of them are only in their creep year. So anyway, this one is just going to be absolutely gorgeous. I think it's a relatively short tree. I think it only gets up to about 10 feet tall. But man, it's just going to be so beautiful. Then coming this way, I've kind of cleaned this whole area up. I just planted all these daylilies over here. This Nosferatu, someone told me how to pronounce that. I think that's how you say Nosferatu. Anyway, beautiful Dracula daylilies. I just planted them like last week, and they're already getting so much growth on them, which is really exciting. And then my honey apricot rose is, you know, that color combination I just think is going to be beautiful. And then I do have my Traveler's Weeping Redbud here, and you guys look. I love when redbuds start blooming. It is just such an exciting time of year, and this guy is it's going to burst out into blooms any day now, and it's probably going to bloom before my March front garden tour, so I will try and show this to you in another video, or maybe I'll show clips of it in the March garden tour if it's not blooming at that time. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So that is going to be it. Sorry for not being on camera, but I just wanted to make sure I got out here before the weather changed again. So like I said, I think I started this video off saying there was not very much to show, and that's wrong. You go through and you start looking at the plants. It's a lot. This time of year, you have to pay closer attention, right? Because the blooms are maybe a little more hidden, right? And you have to kind of seek them out. But once you find them, it's so very exciting. And the weeds, right? Well, those aren't as exciting, but it is what it is. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.